Listen, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fight Against Mediocrity YouTube channel. Today, we're going to go over one skill that you need to absolutely dominate in sales and in life. So here we go. And stick around till the end. I'm going to tell you how you can cultivate this skill. So when you're a little kid, when you're around 2 to 3 years old and you start talking, if you have any kids that are this age or have nieces and nephews or cousins, you're going to notice one thing about them. They consistently say why. So for example, if you give them a bottle of water and say, hey, you should drink some water. Why? Because it's going to help you keep you hydrated. Why? Because you need water to live. Why? And I know that seems silly and maybe redundant, but that's how it is. I remember when my siblings, so the youngest two in my family are twins, a boy and a girl. They're both 18 now. But when they were little, I remember that phase of them asking, why? And you almost just want to rip your head out because at a certain point, you honestly start to question, like, I don't know why. I don't know. So you, start making stuff up, which you probably shouldn't do. So that is the skill of curiosity. And somewhere from ages 2 to where you are now, we lose that skill. And I think the biggest reason is because people are, what's the word I'm looking for? They get, maybe defensive isn't quite the word I'm looking for, but maybe standoffish when we ask why questions and when we ask what, because it can seem intrusive. But here's the thing. In order to be great at sales and business and life, you have to be curious. You can't just take anything at face value, because as soon as you take it at face value, it's very similar to an iceberg. We all know the story of Titanic, right? They maybe saw a little bit of ice on top, but the real iceberg was down below. And that's what you're looking for in sales, because someone could say this, but underneath there's this bigger issue that's going on. And the reason I bring this up, the reason I'm talking about this is because Kennedy on the Fight Against Mediocrity team is taking on a sales role. And so she's in sales calls and figuring it out. And what I explained to her is, as you start doing sales, you're basically gonna skill stack. Meaning your first goal is to get on the call and get to the point where you tell them the price. And then whatever they say after that is irrelevant. Then the next step, you want to get to the price and then have them say no and go through some objections. And you get better and better each time at little nuances. And so we were reviewing a call that she had recorded on Zoom. And the first portion of the call, she asked them, we help people create their own economy and fight mediocrity and, create their dream life, whether it's starting a business or they have an existing business. And there was a couple from Arizona, and she asked them something along the lines of like, why did you hop on this call? Or, why are you looking to, what are your goals? And they said the same thing everybody says. We want freedom. We want to travel. We want to be able to have flexibility, spend more time with my family, invest in real estate, all those good answers. And she said, awesome, cool, and went on. Now that's a huge red flag in sales for me, because that's the answer everybody gives. It means nothing. It's meaningless. And so you have to be curious enough to say, why? Why do you want that? Everyone wants that, but why do you want that? And then when they say the reason, be like, and why is that important to you? And then when they say the reason for that, be like, okay, awesome. And why is that important to you? And you almost have to acknowledge like, hey, I know this is going to seem weird, but why is that important to you? And I've had people tell me things like, man, this is a really hard question. Or, man, that's a really good thing. Or, man, I haven't even ever thought of that before. And the crazy thing is I've had people who told me no on the call. Daniel, recently on the podcast 2 episodes ago, quit his job, made $40,000 his first month. When I got on the phone with him and offered him to join the Fight Against Mediocrity program, flat out, he said no. Not a good time, don't have the money, whatever it is. Obviously, we now know he has the money, so it was my bad. I must have not done something right. So that's the thing, is if you're very curious, you're going to get down to people's whys, why they truly want something. And I've had people after the call come to me and be like, dude, because of our call, they didn't even buy. But because of the call that you had with me, I quit my job and I'm on my own. I've had 2 people tell me that in the last 2 months. And it's just, when you're curious and you actually care as a salesperson, and you care enough to actually ask the hard questions and not just take it at surface level, you actually can impact people's lives. It's not just a transaction, it's a transformation. And so being curious is one of the best skills you can have in life, but especially in sales. And when I say in life, a lot of business opportunities are created because you're curious, because you ask why. Why is it this way? Why does it have to be this way? Can we change it? Elon Musk was curious enough about electric cars, curious enough about rockets to say there's got to be another way. Curiosity is one of the greatest skills you can ever have. And the number one way to obtain curiosity is start asking questions. Just start asking questions like, why is it that way? Like a little kid. Why is it that way? Why is it that way? Why is it that way? And when you can't find the answer, do some research about it. Try to figure it out. Learn something that nobody else has learned before. Because what you'll start to realize is if you have the question, a lot of other people have the question as well. They just don't take the time to ask it and research it and detail it out. So that's my video for today. The tip is be more curious. Don't take stuff at face value. Understand that everything that people say is just the tip of the iceberg, and you have to understand what's below it. And we can go more into that in other videos. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know your thoughts. If you agree, if you disagree, if you have questions, leave them down below and I can answer them. If you like this, obviously, like everybody says, like, subscribe, comment so that more people can find it, and hope you have a great day. Catch you on the next video.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?